Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Rashida here. Hey, and I'm with my great friend, Rose Allure Lewis, the credit goddess. Those of you that know me know that I help mind the business that pays them. So we all have a lot of ideas about things that we want to do, but I am literally a midwife in the business space, and I help you to niche it down and figure out how you're going to mind the business that's paying you. And I have Rose here who's going to introduce herself really quickly. What up, though?
Absolutely. Hey everyone. Happy holidays. My name is Rosa Laura Lewis, and I'm also known as Credit Goddess. I'm also a business improvement strategist. So not only do I help my clients get improvements on their personal credit, but I also get them in position to qualify for funding and leveraging their business credit so they can grow and scale. So, yeah, we decided to just hop on today just to have a conversation with you guys. 2025 is around a corner, and we got some exciting news to share with you guys, and we want to start this conversation off with what's to come. So, Dr. Sheeta, what are we talking about tonight? What are we
So
talking about tonight?
yeah, like I'm excited about 2025. I think we're gonna make a lot of millionaires in 2025. And those that know me know that I love to be in my kitchen. So literally while I'm having this conversation with you guys, I'm baking cookies. I'm baking cookies. But we are literally excited about 2025, and we are getting ready to do some amazing things in the business space. And we're gonna be here local in the community. And so Rose and I kind of partnered to come and really see what is it that our business owners need in the community. And you guys can chat with us. You can drop it in the chat and we can communicate with you. We want to know if you're going to come and attend a live event, even if it's a free event, what are some things that you want us to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Dr. Rashida and I was talking. We talked a couple of times, and I said this quote to her, and Dr. Rashida, you remember, I said that we're service providers, we're not content creators. So we're more hands on with our clients. And we really don't have the time to kind of put content together and hop on social media and post and things because we're behind the scenes working. Now, here is what I don't want to do. And I know Dr. Rashida don't
Tell
want to.
me what
We
you
don't
don't
want to.
want to do.
What I don't want to do is because, and I'm gonna reel this. Let me reel this back. What I don't want to do is put content together, knowing that many of you guys are either advanced, intermediate, and maybe some of you guys are still on the beginner stage. But what I don't want to do is like put a course together and not know exactly what it is that you guys need at this particular space in your journey, right? So when we ask, what is it that you want, is so that way we have an idea of our audience members that are watching us, so that way we can curate that content for you guys to better support you in your journey. So if any of you guys are listening, whether you're listening live or whether you're listening in a replay, go ahead and type replay in the comment section so that way we know that you're just checking in or you checked in after the fact. But also let us know like what it is that you do need assistance with, so that way we can curate that for you and better assist you, because 2025 we don't have no time to try to figure things out. I know we have a lot of talented friends and family in our friends list right now that are going through this journey alone or may have little or no support at all, and I know that you guys need that support, so we're here. Dr. Rashid and I said, listen, we're going to be out here in these streets 2025. We're gonna be out here, you guys. We're coming outside, okay? But we want to take you guys along with us. We're coming outside. We're coming outside. But we want to take you guys with us, so that way we can assist you along in that journey. Like Dr. Rashida says, we're looking to make some millionaires 2025. We're looking to make some millionaires 2025. So let's get it. Let's go.
What's so unique about saying we're looking to become or to be millionaires, but more that we're looking to make millionaires? And I had one of my clients, asked me, he was like, I've had it on my 10 years. How am I going to get there? And I was very honest with her. I said, I haven't reached it yet. I'm journey with you, but I will tell you the things that I know about being in the room with millionaires. I do believe I'm on a mission to make millionaires and not just to be one. And so with that, there's some key things that we have to do. And one of the things I find about a lot of my business owners is that they don't have a foundation built. They had an idea. They jumped out there. They started it. They're building the plane while it's flying.
Yeah. Building the plane. I like to say we're a lot of us jumping off the cliff without a parachute, right? And we're building a plane on the way down. You have to hurry up and build this plane before it crashes. That's how it feels as an entrepreneur. You're stepping out on faith, but if you don't have all the tools, if you don't have all the equipment that you need, so that way you can safely land, right, on a foundation, you will crash. And a lot of us are, we are stepping out on faith, but it's so important that you guys do research and acquire the education that you need. A lot of you guys have that skill set. A lot of you guys have the skill set here. A lot of you guys have the skill sets with your hands. But when it comes to actually moving and progressing in your business, it does take education, one. It does take a team, two. So it's important that you guys delegate those tasks that you don't have time to do, which is why a lot of businesses fail because of lack of support, right? You need a team. And if you're starting off with just you, right, you know how much money you need to make to kind of keep a roof over your head and to run the business. But let's say that you come into a contract, right? Dr. Rashida, you come into a contract, and I know Dr. Rashida back there baking, but let's say that a big organization wants her to bake what would you say you need a team to bake a batch of cupcakes for, like, well, let's say 5,000 cupcakes. That's huge.
Oh,
That's huge.
oh.
That's huge. So what team does that look like? So and I'm just saying this because what if you come into this contract and they ask you to supply whatever it is that you do in a magnitude that you cannot do it alone? What do you need at this point? You need capital, right?
Yes.
Because ain't nobody working for free.
No. Nobody working. Ain't nobody working for free. And so you gotta hire people.
You gotta hire people.
You gotta hire people,
Yep.
and you need an army sometimes, right?
Yes.
But many
Yes.
times we start and we're flying the planes, and we're afraid to ask for help, or we're afraid to hire people. A lot of people are afraid of success, right? They're afraid of what success will come if they hire people. What it takes to hire people and to delegate work is to trust. And a lot of people don't
Yeah.
trust. You're worried about somebody taking your idea, or somebody
Ooh.
doing what you're doing, or somebody else in the industry doing what you're doing. The reality is that there's enough out here for everybody, number one. And number two, you're not an island. You can't do it all on your own. And if God gave you something to do, nobody else can do it. Nobody can
No.
take it from you, and nobody else can do it.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And that trust, sometimes we tend to kind of lean on, family and friends, right, to help us, knowing doggone well we don't got the right team, right? But you need that superstar team, right? You need the superstar team, and that's going to take some capital to kind of hire those superstar team to make sure that the job is done right, which is why capital is so important. In case you do run into these big projects or contracts, I would say, that you have to fulfill, capital would definitely help you hire the right team so that way you can fulfill that contract or that project, so you can bring in revenue into your business. Rinse and repeat, right? Which is why it's so important that you have your personal credit together, right? Because if we're a startup, and our business has not established any type of credibility and it has not established any type of revenue, then you need to leverage off of your personal credit because you've done it. You build that credibility where you can go personally and borrow money, or you can personally acquire business credit cards with a brand new business. Didn't we do that for one of your clients?
I did with a brand spanking new, just established business. They can get the capital funding. But Kiana says hi, Rose, and Michael, who is one of my brand new superstars, says that trust is his issue. And when you listen, you have to duplicate yourself. Trust is definitely an issue when it comes to sharing ideas and vision. That I do is I always ask God to show me who the Judas is at the table, because you guys know that the enemy is out, Judas is always at the table, the enemy's always at the table, and it never fails. He comes to me who doesn't have my best interest at heart, and then you just move them out of the way. The thing about trust in business is that it's yours and you have the power. You don't have to ask anybody to move anybody. So what I tell my mentees and my clients is that you fire quickly and you hire slowly. So when you hire somebody, you already know whether you can trust them or not. And if they don't work out, you get rid of them right away. Like, don't hold
Right.
on to people. And I think that we have a real issue with empathy that causes us to hold on to people longer than they should be held
Then
on
we
to.
should.
So they're not executing the assignments you gave them or what you're asking them to do. You still paying them. You reminding them to do the work. And it's like, okay, what are we doing here? But you build, if you treat people right and you trust them and you give them enough, you build long-term relationships. I have another young lady that works on my team too, and she has some similar things in her arsenal that I do. And what I told her is, what you do for me, I'm gonna make you duplicate it for yourself. So there's
Mm-hmm.
always a way. My business models are always to build other business owners. I don't want to be the end all to be all for people. I don't want to be an employer. I want to be an empowerer. I want to empower other people to do what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I find it quite often that people are not trusting others, like for the very reasons that you said they're going to take the idea. But there's a solution to that. Contracts, agreements. We're afraid to put contracts and agreements on our
Agreements,
own.
NDA.
NDAs, non-disclosure agreement. Like if you haven't read one yet, please go and do so. Like, please, that that just keeps everything confidential that you talk about, right? So don't be afraid to
Yeah,
put a contract and an agreement to someone that you know for sure that they're going to be chatty patty and share your information with other people, and knowing that you want to keep it to yourself, right? And teach other people what
and
and
it also keeps people.
yeah,
It also keeps
keeping your yeah.
from taking your clients, because to them legally, when you have an NDA in place. Now, it don't work for federal indictments, as somebody found out recently. You can't sign an NDA for doing something illegal and expect it to hold up. But in your business space, you can absolutely sign NDAs, and if someone violates the contract or breaches the contract, you can sue them for damages. You can sue them for damaging your business in that manner. So that's just some
Yeah,
things that I know we can bring to the table. And guys, I know you might be all over the country, because I have mentees all over the country, and I'm sure Rose does too, clients and mentees all over the country. What
I do.
is it? What topics do you want to you? Having been that between the two of us, we have nearly 50 years experience in business. What topics do you want us to bring to you to help you get started, get capital, Fix your personal credit so that you can obtain business credit. What topics around those things do you want us to do? A non-compete clause is a part of your non-disclosure agreement, Michael. Your non-disclosure, your NDA will have a clause in it that's called the non-compete clause. So, we're going to bring these topics, but we just need to know what it is y'all want to talk about. We got marketing gurus. Like, we're not, like, we are connected, right? So we're not going to be the ones always here talking or teaching, but we are going to be live at Fort Lauderdale. We're going to be Fort Lauderdale as many times this year as possible. So it might be in your best interest to book a flight and be in the room. And be in the room with networking events, with teaching, with marketing gurus from around the country, with branding gurus, with social media and content creators, managers, people that can help you to get this thing off the ground and running.
Right.
Credit experts. Y'all got the credit expert here tonight. Y'all better ask her some questions. Catch her. I'm telling y'all that we probably could get Obama on here quicker than, we could catch up with Rose. Because it's hard, she's busy. So anyway, let me shift it real quick. I'm gonna give y'all an opportunity while we're here to leave it in the comments. What topics would you like for us to come and cover? And Rose and I are going to sit down and we're going to sync our calendars so that we can be consistent. And we are going to show up live. We are going to be doing live events. As a matter of fact, the Uncommon7 is going to be establishing and connecting those events and bringing people like myself and like Rose to the front so that we can teach these topics and help people establish businesses, niche down what they are doing, mind the business that pays them so that they can make money in this new administration. So when we talk about 2025 coming in, guys, everybody was so excited a few weeks ago about that BOIR injunction. And I was not. I wasn't at all, because I understand what an injunction is. I was like, they were all on Instagram. Woohoo, we don't gotta file it. And I'm thinking, what world? Am I in the Twilight Zone? The BOIR report is telling the government what they already know about you anyway. They already know. Right. They're just getting you to admit it, right? And then two, the only people that should have been excited about the pause or the injunction or the need not to file it are people that haven't mind their business, haven't taken care of their taxes, tax evaders, right? And money launderers. Those of you that are moving money, washing it and making it look like something else, that should have been excited. So as of December 23rd, right, when nobody was watching, everybody was getting ready for Christmas, legislation came down and said, not so fast. You can't injunct something that we established in 2020. And then we come along and say we're going to enforce it. And y'all like, hold up, wait, it's unconstitutional. Bro, you should have said that in 2020. So guess what? If you are if you don't fall in one of those 23 exemptions on the ficen.gov website, you got about 5 days. you got about 5 days to get the BOIR report completed.
Oh, wait a minute. They did push the date, the 13th. The 13th.
Okay. So you got 18 days.
18 days.
But you know that you cannot give our people enough. You can't give people an extension.
You know what? That's true. We got 5 days, y'all. Get it together. You gotta talk about CP time. CP time. CP time.
Because if we give an extension, y'all gonna be January 12th, and then you're gonna be blowing up my phone talking about I need to get my BOIR report done, and I'm gonna be sending you the voicemail. Because guess what? It's tax season. I'm not getting ready to be that, because we have been talking. Literally, I've been talking about BOIR for an entire year. Y'all can go back, look at my Facebook, my TikTok, my Instagram. you will see I was out there saying it before it became a thing and got popular. I was blowing, sounding, get this thing done. Get it done. Rose and I did a walkthrough. We showed y'all how to do it. We held your hands. We talked. We walk you through every screen. We drop that knowledge, and still people don't even know what we're talking about.
Right.
Were you
You know
shocked,
what?
Rose, when
You
you
should put
had
that.
clients? Go
No, you should
ahead.
put the link in the. I'll put the link in the chat, or you can put the link in the chat after the video, for those to go ahead and do the walkthrough. We have it. We have it.
Were you shocked in the community that you run when you had people that are professional business owners know what this report was?
Yeah. No, a lot of people. You remember we were so concerned about how this message going to get to everyone. You know, like we were so stressed. We were so stressed out. But I'm glad that it got out there. I don't know how everyone got it, but with the help of some people that are influencers in the financial space, did get it out there. And I hope that it reached to as many of our people in the community, because we're always the last to know, right? And this is the reason why it's so important that you guys share this type of information. Please, I don't want you guys to overlook it, or make it seem like it's not so important, because the fine is 500, not 100, $591 a day fine. 591 day fine a day. Like, that's a lot of money. Up to
That's a
250,000.
lot of money. That's a lot of money. So if you guys do the math, right? I already knew, like in my hearts of hearts, that this thing was not going away because there is too much money to gain. It
Mm-hmm.
was not, it's
Mm-hmm.
not a left or a right thing. It's not a Republican or a Democrat thing. It is a government thing. There is too much money to gain. There are 33 million small business owners. That means business owners that have less than 500 employees and fit within the specification that need to file this report. If, just for some odd reason, 33 million individuals did not file this report, the government would stand to gain about $16 billion a month.
Mm, mm, mm.
16 billion a month from it not being done. So it people try to politicize it. They try to make it what it, but it held it up for 12 days. That's all they did, was gave you the 12 days that were held up in the court. Now you need to get the BOIR report done if you, in fact, do not fit in one of those 23 specifications on the FinCEN website. And please, guys, please, for the love of God, when you go to put that website in, make sure that it says .gov, because there's scammers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And you may pay somebody $200-300 to file this report. It take you all of 7 minutes and still not have the report filed because you got scammed. So if you are, I tell all my clients, please just do it. If you can't do it yourself, call my office and we'll have someone do it, but you got to pay them to do it. Pay them to do something that's going to take you 7 minutes to do. 7.
Yep. 7.
Or get the walkthrough off my site. You got to pay for that. And do it yourself, and do somebody else's. Do 10 people, but make sure that you get yours done, you get your husband's done, you get your children, whoever you got those LLC names in. The other thing I want to stress tonight, guys, I told you earlier in the year that if you had an LLC, D said 300 game. If you had an LLC this year, didn't make any money, weren't going to use it, to dissolve it. Well, after this, the law states that if that business was live anytime in 2024, before you dissolved it, you have to complete that report still, even if that business is
Oh,
going to be or is dissolved. So don't mess around, because they're not playing any
oh.
games. You got administrative dissolutions that happen and all of this stuff where people didn't pay their excise tax. You still better know if you got an LLC in your name, you need to complete that report.
Mm. A lot of questions that are unanswered. There's a lot of, and the common question that I see is that what if you weren't making any money?
The report has
I
absolutely nothing to do with money.
Yeah. What if
The,
what if what
it
if
has
you
nothing
what
to
if
do
you
with
have
money.
what if you haven't used
What if you
it?
have
I
what?
see those questions. What if you haven't used it? I see those questions. You know what? Let me find I let me find those questions, because we let's go down the list, because I'm sure as you guys are watching this video, you may have those questions too. Um, but yeah, those are the two main questions. What if it's inactive? Because a lot of them are not sure about inactive. Like, say for instance, they did not they did not renew, you know, in May, so it's now inactive, and they have to, you know, reactivate. Does that count for those?
So what we discovered is that if that business was active in 2024, in 2023, in 2024, then they need to complete that report. And guys, it has nothing to do with money, nothing to do with finances. The government, they don't ask you anything financial. They only ask you about the ownership of the company, who are the principals, who's running the company, what percentage of the company do they run, but it does not ask you anything about financials.
Okay.
Don't ask you anything. So if you got a question whether you should do it or not, do it.
True.
Dissolve, you didn't make any money, because a lot of people got LLCs, they just ain't doing nothing with them, ain't making no money because they went and got them because TikTok said to do it. Go get an LLC. That was a whole thing. Like, see you, an LLC for you, an LLC for
It
you, an
was.
LLC. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing if you don't use it. Okay, Michael, I got all of your things that you want to talk about. So we're gonna get those
Oh,
things off and going. Hi,
we have a participant.
D
That's
said
great.
Deontay said for $300 he'll do all the BOIs.
Ooh. I'm looking for these questions. All right, let me see. Post I've seen. All right. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Someone asked, if your LLC has to be reinstated, does that mean you still have to file?
Yes.
Okay. Another question. Do we have to fill out a new one if we already completed it before they paused it?
No.
Okay. Um,
No.
no? Okay. What if we got an LLC but never used it?
Then you need to complete the report. You still own it. The report has nothing
Uh,
to do with money, activity, what you did, what you didn't do. It's just an information report.
Okay. Do you need to do this
So
even?
literally, it's called the beneficial ownership information report.
Okay. Now, do you need to do this even if your LLC is not registered?
How do you have an LLC that's not registered?
These are questions.
Not
These
registered.
these are questions.
Not registered with what? Okay, so in order for you to officially have an LLC, you had to register that company in a state somewhere in these. So I'm not sure what that question means. Register where? Meaning you don't have an EIN or you didn't register with the state, because you don't have an LLC if it's not registered.
Right. Okay. Does this cost, or is it just filling out info so that they know who's affiliated with your business more so?
It's just to fit. It's just for information. Does not cost any money. Should take you less than 10 minutes. Do is to make sure that you have a copy of your current um, ID that's not expired, and that you can upload by JPEG or PDF. Simple as that.
All right. What's the name of the website to file?
FINCEN.gov. FINCEN.gov. Somebody that's online on Facebook, if you could drop it in the chat, that'd be great. Let me see. I think I can do it myself. But that's how you do it, guys. And just make sure you get it done. I said I wasn't going to come back on here and talk about it, but Rose loves y'all more than I do. So she got me to come on tonight in the midst for my granddaughter, um, for my daughter to come on here and talk about it. But guys, please just get it done. I'm afraid. I'm afraid for people, honestly. But one of the questions we're gonna switch gears now. One of the questions that I see here that Michael has is he'd like to know more about things that concern business, like business credit, the best way to obtain it, how to obtain business grants. He's got a lot of questions. The best way to begin business expansion. A few of those it'll take some coaching. Definitely take some consultations. But Rose, if you want to give a quick overview about credit, business credit, how they function, connected to one another, that type of thing, and then we'll call it a night.
Okay. Absolutely. Great question. Um, Me personally, I've been in this space since 2016. I started off with personal credit. Me personally, I started establishing personal credit back in 2012. Housing market crash, and I saw how low the properties were. And I live in Florida, and properties were as low as $9,000 that I've seen personally. And that's what got me to start establishing my credit, because I couldn't even buy a house because I had bad credit. And I missed the opportunity. I missed that opening to come in, because that was the biggest wealth transfer, after that housing market crash. If your credit was not together, if you didn't have any income or any type of revenue or capital to snag these properties at wholesale price, we missed the window. So I said, you know what? Let me not miss the window the next time, because I hear that this happens. The reset happens every 10 15 years. So I said, well, I'm not going to miss this one. I'm going to make sure that I have my credit together, and I'm going to make sure I'm in position where I have good revenue coming in, capital, assets, and things like that, so I can start playing Monopoly. Because if you guys ever played the game of Monopoly, right? Don't they always start you off with some type of capital, right? You like, where did this come
Yes.
from? Because I didn't have a job. They just gave me the money, right? So kind of look at that startup money as credit. This is capital that you guys can start with using other people's money, right? So I started establishing my credit, and it took me about 4 years because I was super scared. I didn't understand what I was doing. I read this book, and I thought credit was for Caucasians. I didn't know it was for Black people because, I didn't know anybody in my family that talked about credit. We talked about how to stay away from it and not get into debt, but we never really talked about credit. So, of course, process of elimination, I eliminated us out of the picture, and it was only for this group of people. So when I started learning about it and started establishing it and started seeing my scores improve me, I was scared. I was scared to get that number up, so I was procrastinating. I was delaying my time. It took 4 years, let's just say that. Fast forward 2016, I decided to start my business because I was sharing this information for free on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called the Thought Provokers, and I teach credit every Tuesday there. And people started seeing improvements. Some people just needed someone to help, and they wanted me to pay. They wanted to pay me, and I didn't want this as a business. I didn't. I just wanted to teach. I started the business anyway, right? 4 years establishing credit. I just started my business August of 2016, and I started getting offers in the mail from American Express, Chase, Citi, all these big banks. And I've applied for business credit with leveraging my personal credit. Now, mind you, I didn't know what I was doing. Again, I didn't know what I was doing. I was doing this whole business credit thing before everybody started talking about business credit, and I didn't know how I did it, but I knew that I was leveraging my personal credit to do so. So what I'm telling you guys now, that personal credit is the foundation, right? Personal credit is the foundation for those that are starting up their business. Personal credit is the foundation for those that have started their business, made revenue, but haven't established business credit. And what I mean that when I say haven't established business credit is how you establish your personal credit is the same concept that you have to apply to your business. So if you don't know about the different types of business credit reporting agencies out there, like Dun and Brad, Experian and Telescore, you have Equifax, you have Credit Safe, you have PayNet, you have SBSS, you have SBFE. There's so many different business credit reporting agencies out there. If you don't know what to do to establish a score or establish data there, then you're pretty much behind the eight ball, not knowing that you have business credit or not. If you don't know where to pull it, if you don't know where to look at it, like I talk to a lot of clients when I ask them, like, so how's your personal credit? I don't know. They haven't pulled their credit report. They haven't seen their credit report in like 3 years, so they don't even know what is in it. So
Because they're
if
scared.
they're scared. They're scared to see what's in it. I get it. I totally get it. It's like you did really bad during your semester in college. You didn't pass. You're afraid to look at that report card. You're afraid to look at that transcript because you're afraid to look at that letter F. But here's the thing, you guys have to face your fears. Because if we want to turn things around, if we want to improve, we have to know where we are. So we know what we need to do to improve it. So it's so important that you have to pull your personal credit report and your business credit report to see where you're at, to know what you need to improve. Gone the days to move in 2025. We are not crossing fingers and praying to God and manifesting funding. I need you guys to know that.
It does not. No, there's got to be some work. And so it is. I said it to one of my clients tonight. I was like, listen, you can you can definitely pray and ask God for something, but he's not going to do what you can do. He works and he does the things that you cannot do. So there's a lot of work that has to be done to obtain things and to fix it. And unfortunately, it's part of the world system. So Nichelle asked the question, do we think that the economy will crash again for housing properties? I don't think that it's going to be anytime soon. I think, and the answer to your question is yes, because housing, like every other part of the economy, goes through a cycle. There's a cycle that happens, but I don't think that it's going to be as soon as people think, because there are a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes with investors that are holding up the what we would know as a traditional crash. If
Mm-hmm.
you're paying attention, or if you're in real estate, you would know about the investors and the developments and the things that they're doing to cause to have an influx of money for themselves, boost the economy, right?
Yeah.
But put people in a position where they cannot buy. Now, when the economy crashes and people and there are more houses for sale, then it's a supply and a demand thing, right? People can obtain properties if they have themselves in position, like we're talking about credit. When it does come down, you got to be in position. You got to have liquid, I mean, you got to have money, cash, or you got to have credit. And so I would say to anybody that's expecting to buy on the downturn of the cycle, that you would want to prepare. I wouldn't say, because of interest rates, Nichelle, if you are ready, it would be a good time because of the way that interest rates are set up right now. So buying a house is really not only about, and real estate is not my area of expertise, is my business partner's expertise, but buying a house is not really about just the cost of the property. You want to look at the actual interest rates, overall interest rates. And because they're at a certain level right now, you may or may not find it to be a good time for you specifically. But like Rose was talking about, we got wholesale, we got auctions, we got tax liens. There's all kinds of creative ways to obtain properties.
Mm-hmm.
Checking your cities too for first time home buyer programs. And what people don't know about first time home buyer programs, if you've been a first time home buyer and your limitation has expired, you can be a first time home buyer again. So you might want to check in the community that you're in, because there's so many things, that so many different parameters that come into play when we talk about real estate. But I can connect you to an expert. You can get all the information that you need. They're not realtors, they are real estate investors. And as a matter of fact, D was just on here. He'd be a great person that could have answered most of those questions. But real estate has a cycle like the entire economy. So you want to check into the programs in your community. You want to check into interest rates right now, and you want to look at where the supply is versus the demand. And that's really what drives the cost in the economy when it comes to real estate.
Yeah. I say, like Dr. Rashida said, there's so many different avenues that you can enter into the real estate industry as an investor. You want to find out the different ways, because I know it's more than just buying a house, but there's so many different avenues. Like she mentioned, you got tax deed. If you want to go in with no money, no credit, you got wholesale. Or even subject to. I don't hear that talked about a lot, but you can do subject to. Tax lien, tax deed is the low barrier entry into real estate investing. You can buy multiplex, you can buy multi family properties. Like, there's so many different ways to get into real estate. Is important that you guys do your research. Maybe use ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, like, hey, what are the different ways to get into real estate investing? And in that way, it can give you a list, and then do your research on that. But yeah, real estate is one of the biggest way to invest and make some profit. Not only that you get to profit, but you also have an asset that you can leverage. Again, if you guys ever played Monopoly before, and if you wanted to leverage something, so that way you can get some money you had to sell, or you can put you can leverage and get some profit, or get some money off of it with, like, home equity line of credit, if you guys ever heard of that, or pull equity out of it. It's pretty much like a bank, but you want to sit your money somewhere where it's going to give you a return of what you've invested. So definitely look into real estate, not just alone, but as a family, right? We need to start talking about coming together as a unit, as a family, husband and wife, brothers, siblings, mother, daughter, whatever, like friends, best friends. You guys need to come together, right? Especially as us, as people in our community, we need to start coming together, which is why Dr. Rashid and I are going to make an effort to come on social media to talk to you guys more about these things. So, again, put in the chat, what is it that you guys want to learn? Because I'm a very busy person. If you guys don't know, I haven't been on social media in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, right? Since the pandemic, I haven't been on social media because I'm actually out here providing services to my clients. But I do want to come back on social media and not leave you guys behind, because there are a lot of people that are out here just getting it. You know what I'm saying? So, and because Dr. Rasheen and I are service providers, we have experience from, our clients ourselves that we can bring back to you guys, because a lot of times a lot of us are afraid to do what we dream of doing, or what we aspire of doing, or what we're capable of doing. But the fear is the uncertainty and the inevitable. So we don't want to fail, but in order for us to succeed, you have to fail, so that way you can learn from those lessons, right? So how about you just utilize us as a cheat code? How about you just utilize us as a cheat code? It is okay that you guys ask us questions so we can give you the answers, and build that confidence to move forward. If you have the capability of doing so. So please ask questions. I promise you, we are not judging you on this at this end. At this point, we can all agree that they do not teach us this in school, right? So where are you gonna get this information from? Where are you going to get this information from? If they're not teaching you in school, where are you going to get this information from? Of course, you can get it from Google. Of course, you can get it from YouTube. Of course.
Chat
Of
GPT.
course. Of course. But listen, we're here for you guys. Dr. Rashid and I, we're going to be talking about putting a community together with all like-minded individuals. So please, if you're not following us, follow myself, Dr. Rashida, so that way we can come every time when we go live. You have this information and you guys can engage with us. Please engage with us. I'm all about energy. I am. Listen, I would shut down this camera if ain't nobody talking to me. Cause Dr. Rashid and I, we can get on the phone and we'll talk to each other. But please, when we say please engage with us, this is the reason why we don't come on social media, because we need engagement. We engage with the people that actually need us. So if you need us, we don't mind showing up for you guys. We really don't mind showing up for you guys. So we're gonna have some things in store for you all. 2025, come 2025. So if you have any ideas, anything that you're struggling with, please keep up with us. We're gonna make the effort to come up and show up for you guys when you need us, so you guys can succeed, because it's all about you. If you guys win, we win too.
So I want to address, I see Nichelle is engaging. I just want to say, yeah, the houses went up, but the interest rates are low. That's true, but this is Florida, and we're a little bit different. And what makes me a little bit crazy, I don't think I honestly am not sure if I would buy another house in Florida, is the fact that so many other things come into play. Like, our taxes are ridiculous. Not only do our taxes continue to go up, but we have the hardest time obtaining homeowners insurance because of storms, which causes increases. So, me personally, like, I don't really know if I would buy another house in Florida. And she was saying that she has good credit. She just got a new car with excellent credit, but the car note is crazy. I get it. It's wild out here. It's wild. Credit versus money all day. Rose says credit is what? Cash is what? And credit is what?
Ooh, um, cash is king,
Cash
credit
cash
is
is
queen.
king and credit is queen. You can't have one without the other. So you gotta make sure that you got that up on the up and up. But again, with real estate, we do have real estate experts that can come in. I wish D was in here because he's really good with real estate. He's an investor. He could really give you some insight on how and when to buy. Florida is just a weird place. If we live here, we're a bunch of the lucky ones, right? And if we were born here, we're even luckier. If you got a heritage house, a legacy house, then we're just in a blessed position, a blessed place. But there's so many incentives and so many places that you can have an advantage and use your excellent credit to your advantage. It may seem crazy, but excellent credit is it's your good name, honestly.
It is. It is. To kind of give a little bit of context of what personal credit is, or let's say the top three credit that you can actually borrow and borrow, okay, against, okay. So I know a lot of times people are confused about business credit and how to get business credit. And like I mentioned earlier, is if your business have established its own credit and and it has its own revenue, then the business can stand alone to get its own funding. So kind of look at your business as your baby, right? You are the parent and you made a baby, which is an entity, right? So say that baby wants to go and borrow and buy a car, or if it wants to get a loan, and that baby doesn't have any credit, what do you need to do? So if you need the car right now, if that baby need the car right now, you as a parent has to co-sign for it. So this is where the co-signing comes in, aka PG. You guys hear that before? A lot of times people want no doc, or they don't want to supply their personal credit to get the funding for their business. But guess what? There is no banks out there that's going to give you funding without checking your personal credit. I'm just going to let you guys know that off the top.
And they want those
And they
docs.
want those documents. This is the
They want those docs. They want those docs. People don't trust you. This is not the 1950s. People don't trust you to write on a piece of paper and you come back and pay it. They don't trust that. So Nichelle wants to know what is the best tip or best advice to get an 800 credit score. She's been stuck at 789 for a year.
It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. Let me kind of give you an anatomy of an 800 credit score, or let's say an 850 credit score. And I'm going to talk about the two categories that will fluctuate your credit score over time as you're building. So as an American US citizen, everyone starts off with a 300 credit score. Everyone. The highest credit score you can get is an 850, the lowest you can get is a 300. Take 300 and subtract it from 850, you have 550 points. Let's say this 550 points are the points that you can gain in this credit game. Okay? That's your score. We all play in this credit game. If you're in it, you're in it. If you're not, you can stand on the sidelines. But if you're going to come into this game to leverage your credibility, you have to play the game. And this is the game. This is how you win your points. 35% of the 550 is your payment history. So 35% of 550 is 192.5 points. This is where your late payments lie. This is where your collections lie. This is where your on time payments lie. So if you have any late payments, a big chunk of your score will be deducted from the 192.5 points. So if you have not made any late payments, like Nichelle, she has a 789. That lets me know she doesn't have any late payments because she have accumulated all 192.5 points. Sit that on top of the 300, you're at 492. So just making your payments on time is not enough to get to an 850 credit score. Okay? There's four other parts of the game. So you have utilization. Utilization makes up 30% of your credit score. 30% of the 550 in this game of credit is what you can gain if you have a credit card. Credit cards is what calculates in this 30%. Now, a lot of you guys are afraid to get credit or a credit card because you're afraid to go into debt. But the way that this game is designed is not meant for you to go in, max out on your credit cards, because if you do, you lose all 165 points because it calculates how much credit you have left. So if you've maxed out all of your credit limits and you have none left, then you have lost 165 points. So to gain that back, you have to find out when your billing cycle closes. So that way you can bring that balance down to 10% so you can accumulate and accrue all of your 165 points. Okay. Before the billing cycle closes, because every month you get a brand new progress report. in the game of credit. Okay, every month you get a brand new progress report in the game of credit. So if you want all 165, bring that balance down. If you find yourself stuck, you've been making your payments on time and you got credit and you're at 50%, 30%, if you want to get those 50 points, 82 points, you need to bring those balances down to 10% on all your credit cards. Okay, you want to be 1 to 7%. You don't want to bring it all the way down to zero, because if you really want to get all your points, leave a little bit of 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 something, so that way you're scored. Nothing plus nothing equals nothing. Because I get a lot of people that be proud about leaving a zero balance on their credit card. There's nothing being scored. So leave 1% at least. Okay. Now, 15% of your score of the 550 points, the 550 points you can gain in this credit game, is length of credit. Okay, length of credit, meaning how long you've been in this credit game. 15% of 550 is 82.5 points. You need 12 years consistent, no new accounts in the 12 years to get all 82.5 points.
Good
So
gracious.
if you applied for credit, it's going to go down because it's going to re-age you.
Oh no.
It's going to re-age you because you need 12 years. 12 years. So if you apply for credit, it's going to go down, but it's going to go back up, because as that new account ages, it's going to re-age you, and you're going to go from maybe, like, say you were at like 9 years and then you added a new account because 6 years ago you applied for credit and now you're applying for credit again. And let's say that new account comes in, it is 1 month old. It's going to re-age you from like 9 years to maybe drop you down to 6 years. So you're going to lose points in this 82.5 points. Okay, you follow me? So those three sections: payment history, utilization, and length of credit history. The two that's going to fluctuate you is adding a new account, re-aging, and utilization. You're going to find your scores going up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, I'm not going to go down the road. We can talk about this, in my credit group, because I am launching that in January, so we can have this type of conversation, but I don't want to hold you up. But you want to make sure that you maintain those three categories. It's going to re-age you. The best thing to do is make sure that you hit that 720 mark, because they treat you the same as someone that has an 850 credit score. It's the same. We treat you the same. The only difference is 850 has been in the credit game longer than you have. That's all. And they have more accounts than you. Because if you want to touch that 55 points, you need 21 plus accounts. You need 21 open or closed, both open or closed, or it could be all open. 21 plus account to get that fourth category that I mentioned that I didn't go into. But a lot of people only have like maybe 5 accounts or 10 accounts. But if you want to get a couple of more points, and they're like 2-3 points each. So it's up to you. Do you want to get 21 plus accounts so you can get to the 800? It really doesn't matter. As long as you're at a 720, and the higher you are, the more solid you are, because of all of those things that I just mentioned to you. That lets me know how long you've been in the game, the higher your credit score is. So, Nichelle, you've been in the game long enough, and I'm sure maybe in your credit report you might have some student loans, because a lot of people that have student loans that are 15 years old, it gives them that extra edge in that 700 because of that age of those student loans. So yes, that's just breaking it down for you. If you're wondering how to get to that 800, it takes work. So you put in that work. So kudos to you. But if you want to add, if you want to bump it up a little bit more, it's going to take more accounts to add and more time in the game and all that good stuff. So I hope that answered your question.
So we got two more questions, then me and you, we're
Okay.
going. So if her husband asks her to, she said her husband's in the 800 club, and her hater
Oh, no,
husband.
no, no.
So she got a little friendly
Okay.
competition going on in her house. But she wants to know, if he adds her to his oldest credit limit, will that help her?
Oldest credit limit or oldest credit card?
She probably means his oldest credit line, if he added her.
It may bump it up a little bit. depending on what your age is and what that age is, it may bump it up a little bit. Not tremendously, but it will bump it up a little bit.
She just trying to get them 11 points so she could get.
You know what?
So
A lot of people are in this credit game just for that. It's a game to them, and that's cool. If that's gonna keep you going, then definitely go shoot for that 800.
get it, Nichelle. Michael wanted to know, and this is our last question. Rose and I are going to go. We promise we will be back. And guys, when we post these live events, some of them are going to be free, some of them are going to be a small fee, but we ask you to show up. We will bring, if it's not our knowledge base, trust me, we have been to enough networking events. We have enough people that are credible that we collaborate with that will come and give you the game.
For real.
Whatever game it is you want to
For
know,
real.
trust me, we know
For real.
them. With the credit usage principle, is using your credit card and paying it off every month beneficial? That's your last question.
Not necessarily. As I mentioned earlier, you want to leave something on there. Okay, you want to leave at least 1%. I mean, okay, so now what I would say that is beneficial is if your goal is to increase your line of credit, right? So say for instance, you got a Chase credit card and they've given you $3,000, right? And you want to increase that line of credit. And to get that line of credit, you can either or increase that line of credit, you can either ask, right? Or you can get an automatic increase. And to get the automatic increase, you have to show that $3,000 is not enough for you, meaning you have to spend. Okay. You can strategically say, you know what? I'm going to put all of my expenses for this month on this Chase credit card, and then I'm going to pay it right back. And do that for 2, 3 months, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Because what they do is they do a review. They do a review to see how well you're going with that account. They look for the trended payment habit, and that trended payment data is what I call it. Trended payment data is a lot is picking up the data to determine whether they should increase your line, whether you're a risk, if they should cut your line, and things like that. And they're checking for slow pay. Slow pay meaning that you you use 2,000 of that three, and you're slowly paying down the 2,000. That's slow pay. Or you're not paying, you're paying right on the due date, right? You're paying right on the money. That's slow pay. If you're giving yourself like 2 weeks before it's due or a week before it's due, that's better. But if you're doing it on a due date, that's considered slow pay. So you don't want to kind of show that you're slow paying on a debt that you borrowed. You want to quickly pay it off. I get a lot of people that say, you know what, I borrowed 2,000 and I pay it right back, right? But don't pay it down to zero. At least give them some type of benefit, y'all, because I be hearing a lot of y'all say, I'm not paying no interest. But come on, it's an interest. It's a consideration between the two of you. It's beneficial for them that you're using the credit, and it's beneficial for them as well. You know, you and them. You know, they're making money, you're getting benefits, especially for those that are getting cash rewards, frequent mile points. That's the cost of business. They're giving that to you guys, just by leveraging. But to answer your question, it's beneficial if you use big and pay back big, is what I like to say. Use big, pay back big, so that way you can increase that line of credit to increase that 10%. So if you got $3,000, your 10% is 300. So you don't want to leave a balance more than 300. If your limit is $10,000, your 10% is $1,000. You can leave $1,000 on that $10,000 card, and it will not affect that 165 points. So the whole point is to increase that 10%, so that way it doesn't affect your 165 points that you can accrue every month. So I hope that helps.
Yes. So guys, again, just to recap, thank you for being here. I'm random, and y'all know that I'm not consistent with social media because we're busy. Thank you to my good friend Rose Allure Lewis.
But listen, Listen,
The credit
you just
goddess.
said something. You just said something. How? Let me see those in the chat for those that are still here. Would it be best for Dr. Rashida to be random, or should we set a date that you guys can always expect us to show up for you guys? And listen, it's a listen. I want to hear what you guys have to say because it is a challenge. I'm even though I'm saying it as if I'm going to be consistent. No, I'm not. but but
It's
I
a
want you guys to
challenge.
hold us. No, I want you guys to hold us to the fire. I want you guys to hold our feet to the fire to be consistent. If you guys rather us come up random, or do you guys want us to have a structured scheduled time that we hop on for you guys? Which one is it? You tell me. Because we don't mind just hopping on whenever we can feel like
That
hopping on.
whenever we got time, we don't
Whenever we
mind.
got time.
But
But
I listen.
but I do
Michael said he like random.
it will be better random.
That's what Michael said. He said random.
Listen, but listen.
Thank you, Michael.
Because if we really
Michelle said random.
random, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it adds some excitement to it because when you have a consistency, like people know you coming, they expect you. But you know, if we random, now listen, guys, we come random, we need y'all to share it out and make
For
sure
real.
that you let other
For real.
people know. Because we're gonna come back again and we're gonna give y'all some exact dates where we're gonna be live. In my office up the street, we're gonna train some people. We're gonna start a business incubator there. If you're already in business, you are stuck in business, you trying to grow your business, then you definitely want to come and you want to sit with us because we're going to talk about structure. We're going to talk about how to get to the money. We're going to tell you how to get to not only business credit, but business funding. Don't you want the money so that you can run your business and stop paying for it out of your paychecks? Like, we're going to make it rain for y'all in 2025. I got all kinds of experts, all kinds of people in my arsenal. Rose is an amazing asset to my life. I love her. Like, y'all don't understand. That's my girl. That's my friend. Like, not just we get business done, but I love her because she is a friend. And I'm glad to be here, Nichelle. Thank you so much. This is what we do. This is literally what I've been doing the last 20 some years, is literally empowering other people. And I just know that I was born to create millionaires out of people. I just believe it. I've always believed it. I've done a lot of things behind the scenes and I continue. I don't need the credit. Just come and let us help you to get your business off on the right foot, to expand it, to grow it. And when you shine, we know that we have accomplished the goal that we have. And I have some things to share with y'all that are just mind blowing. Literally, and I'm gonna let you go. We've been on here for an hour. I literally just met a young man from California who has designed a super app, and he will be the first. It will be the first super app released here in the United States. It's already up and running. But when I tell you about this platform, I'm gonna come back in a couple of days. I'm gonna tell you guys about this platform. It is ridiculous. I don't even know, but I know that it is a God idea and it's getting ready to be something major. So I'm gonna come back and share that with y'all. We're always gonna be bringing things. Rose and I. You guys are gonna see D Commander Cash come on. You guys will see Pastor Nas. You might see Flame. Like, it's just gonna be a lot of people. Because we definitely have an asset to this group. We have space. We got everything we need. We got studios. We got all kinds of stuff that we can utilize right here. And so we're getting ready to blow it up in 2025. So Rose, I'll let you give your last regards before I take us out of here.
Absolutely. Okay, so I appreciate you guys for showing up. I haven't done a live in I don't know how long. It's been over a year or two. Yeah. So I'm glad that Dr. Rashida was like, let's go live. And I'm like, listen, if you go live, I'll go live with you. So here I am. But I do plan on 2022 is showing up for you guys, especially in my space.
2025, not 2020.
2025. Did I say 2022?
You did. 2022 must have been a good year.
It sure was. Okay. Yeah, 2025. 2025. Listen, 2025 is going to be a great year for us. I'm showing up intentionally for you guys. But we need to love. We need to love. This is what it's all going to be about, because energy is it doesn't die, it transfers. So in order for us to continue to fuel you guys, show up for us. As you guys show up, we'll show up for you guys too. I have a couple of communities that I'm putting up. One is called Black Women Get Funded Too. The other one is Black Men Get Funded Too. I've been sitting on this idea like forever, because my thought was like, I don't want to do this by myself. I really don't.
And
you
now
know
you got me. I'm on board.
I We got Dr. Rashida, and like she said, we have so many experts that are willing to show up for you guys. But it does require you guys to show up for real. Like, if you just share the content, it's social currency. It doesn't take anything monetary where we ask for anything, and all we ask is just to share. So that way we can reach more and more people, because what we are realizing is that people are tired of courses, people are tired of ebooks. Y'all really want a community, right? You guys want a community, you guys want support, you guys want someone to hold your hand. I know I'm listening. We've been doing this for many years, and I'm starting to see that the audience are shifting. You guys are getting a little bit more wiser. Technology is getting a little bit more advanced. So it's going to take some handheld. It's going to take a community of like-minded, so that way we can all come and support one another. Because I don't know everything. Dr. Rashida don't know everything, which is why, like, we ask, what is it that you want, so we can bring someone to cover those areas that we cannot cover, but we know someone in our network that can, just so you guys can get the help. Because small business owners, you guys are running, are the backbone of the economy. If you believe it, whether you believe it or not, if you look on every major road, is a small business. And these are the folks that are employing people. You guys are employing people, or I know you guys want to employ people. You want to keep people, you want to keep families afloat, households afloat. But it takes you guys, the ones that with the big idea, the ones with the big heart, the ones with big courage to actually operate a business of your own, because you have that skill set and you have the power to lead. So we want to support you. So 2025, we're stepping out, we're creating these communities. So definitely continue to follow us. I have a community coming up. I'll share that link to those groups shortly. Once it's up and ready to go, I'll share that, so that way you guys can share with your community, with your friends, your family. So, we have a place that we can support. So that's all to it. If you guys don't see us for this year, happy holidays. Here.
We might be random. We might not
We
be
might
there.
be very random. Right.
But our heart and our reason for being here tonight was just to come and sound the alarm once again, guys, that you got to get those BOIR reports done if you own a business here in the United States of America. Make sure that you do it. All my clients were required to do it. We didn't take no excuses. We just went ahead and made sure that everybody got it done. So the injunction didn't function, and it didn't bother us. We were already in compliance. So click the link in the chat if you want to find out more about business funding. You want to find out more about the BOI report. You want to get the walkthrough. There's a video there. You get me and Rose for 2 hours, literally training and teaching. This is not a course. This is a straight up, just get in there, get your stuff done, learn about things. You can schedule consultations. You can get a free 15-minute, 30-minute call. You can start the pre-qualification for business funding, all in that link. And Rose and I will be back again soon to give you guys some dates and some updates and some information. Rose, thank you for coming on and giving your time tonight, because your time is so valuable. People really have no idea the amount of things that you are in the community doing, trying to help people to be better at this credit game, at this business credit game, business funding game, and building these businesses. Guys, we're here. We're going to help you guys mind the business that pays you. We're going to help you get paid for minding the business that pays you. So let's make it big in 2025. We are not afraid. We are dominating, and we're going to take control of everything, and we're going to get everything that was set up for us to have and to obtain. You are kings and queens of the Most High God, and it is His desire that you prosper even as your soul prospers. We love you with the love of Christ, and we'll see you guys. If not soon, we'll see you next year. Take care, and God bless everybody. Good night.